Hey, I tell you what, the Shooters Pod is the place. If you want NBL news, great banter, health tips, behind the scenes conversations about the NBL, whether it's from the media side or the players side, this is the place to be.
All right, it's been a while. I hope I remember how to do one of these things, but we're naturals. We're fun. We're back. It's been a while. I don't know how long it's been since our last episode, but needless to say, a lot has gone down. One of us turned into Olympian. One of us is going to Vegas. There's lots happening. I don't know where to start, but I'm just going to ask, how are you? That's good. That's a good start.
That's a great start, and it is very good to be back. I was unable to make much time for the podcast and for Darren, so I apologize to everyone. It's definitely been on my end. I was preparing for not only the Boomers camp, but a wedding. And so my plate was full, and it was a pretty crazy time, but here we are. We've found a night and we're back, but I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm locked in. I'm excited. All of the above. How are you doing, Darren?
I'm doing well, and I had to laugh to myself just then because even though I mentioned two big events, I completely didn't even say that you got married. So that just goes to show how big the last month or weeks or whatever have been. But I'm good. I'm doing well. I'm glad we got to catch up the other night. So just a precursor to this, some of this stuff I've already talked to Jack about, but I'm going to talk to him again because I'm sure you're going to give us some more details and whatnot. But let's start at your wedding because to me and Jess were there. It was a lovely occasion. I don't know. It probably feels like ages ago because you've just been nonstop about Boomers since then. But I'm going to say it was very lovely, and we really appreciated being there. I've got some notes I wanted to touch on. But how was it? What's it like being? What's life like in a married man? Because whenever people ask, people are normally just like, nothing's changed, really.
Well, the wedding, first off, was absolutely beautiful. I couldn't have asked for a better day. We did laid back bohemian style is actually the wording for it. So we got two big tents in the hills of Adelaide. It was like we got a pizza truck. We got one of our good friends, Dave, got his bakery food. So like, pastries, pies, donuts. Oh, yep, donuts. The donuts were beautiful, all of the above. And then we had a beautiful ceremony where Isaac Humphreys wrote a song for Beth and I, and then sung Beth down the aisle, which was absolutely beautiful. And then we danced, we partied and sang the night away. We did some basketball intros, which was good fun. And overall, that was a beautiful day. I wouldn't have changed a thing. And then as a married man, I've spent probably a good 48 hours with my wife, Beth. So that happened Saturday night. We stayed up to about 3 or 4 a.m. A bit hungover that day. And then we flew to Melbourne Monday morning at 6 a.m. to be playing pickup with the Boomers guys on that Monday. Playing pickup is like 5-on-5, but without coaches. It's just like you're playing just like basketball on a court without like a structure. And then we'll kind of straight into camp from there.
Love it. And while you were in Melbourne, the entire other like bridesmaids and groomsmen, they're in Bali, right?
Yes, 100%. So I had organized a big wedding, big kind of honeymoon. I was like, wow, like all my friends are always scattered. We can use my wedding as a place to get us all to Bali. So we had a big, like kind of 15, 16, 17 people lined up to go. And I didn't get to go. Still probably 10 went, a couple pulled out, obviously. And so I was putting a ball in a hole while all the people I loved were in Bali.
It's just, it was never going to be normal for you. It was never going to be normal. But I do hope, and you touched on this the other night, but I do hope that there is a time where you and Beth can just go wherever. It doesn't even matter where it is, but as long as you guys can actually enjoy some time away, which I'm sure it will be. But you're a busy boy, and she's a busy girl as well. So I'm sure there will be a time. But it is funny when you put that stuff into perspective, because I know Olga and stuff found that out as well. And they're like, Jack's meant to be on his honeymoon, but he's just trying to make an Olympic squad. But that's the life you chose.
That is the life I chose. Now, you were at the wedding, obviously. I forced you to dance, which you were very uncomfortable. But when I mean danced, I really gave him a bear hug, picked him up, and then lifted him carried him to the dance floor where we had a boogie for, a good 20 seconds before we made our way off. But it was a good time. But what did you enjoy about the wedding? Did you have a good time?
I did. That was definitely a highlight. It was actually kind of like a love-hate thing because, like you said, he literally, like, Jack's a big boy compared to me. Like, he literally just like grabbed me, and the first moment I was just like, I'm pretty bad at just being like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm just no. But the fact of the matter is that you are much bigger than me, so I didn't really have a choice. So once I got out there, all I was kind of doing was just like trying to gasp for air almost because you kind of just grabbed me, and I was like, I'm just gonna breathe first. But you were good. Yeah, I could tell it came from the kindness of your heart. You were just like, sometimes you have to do things that you're uncomfortable with, let alone for the groom himself. So I'm not sure you could classify me what I did as dancing, but you were literally, you like grabbed my hips and you were actually trying to make me move. So it was a highlight. It was just a bit of a mental battle to get me out there, but it worked.
Well, there you go. It was one of my highlights too. So we can all say, guys, that we officially had a boogie together on my wedding day.
Absolutely. I've got some other. I just wanted to touch on some quick notes about your wedding before we move on to basketball. But Sunday Dash, one of the nicest humans going around. That was a point from the night. Your family is just a fun time. Some great characters. Got to meet Lloyd for the first time. He speaks like you. He talks like you. That's what I kind of got from it, even though I'm sure you guys are very different. But no, it was fun. It was just a good night. Very chilly, but food was good. Company was good. Always cool seeing the players that, like, your close friends being there as well. So no complaints on my end. I had a great time. We made a weekend of it in Adelaide, so we did well as well.
There you go. The beautiful Adelaide and the Adelaide Hills. It did get a bit cold. But should we jump to Olympic prep into Olympic camp? Is that where we want to go with this?
Let's do it. Tell us about it. I don't know where you want to start because it's probably just a blur, to be honest. But you were in Melbourne. You did your thing. You I don't know how many days of camp before you actually started playing China, but give us the goss. Give us something.
Well, I would say basketball is a fascinating thing, and obviously I write about it a little bit. The pursuit of excellence is kind of what my tag for it. But there's always a fine line between striving for something next and enjoying the moment. So we won the NBL championship, the Jack Jumpers, and 3-4 days later, we get that letter saying, hey, you're part of the 22-man squad for the Olympics. Here we go. So I had a week of enjoying myself before it was back to the drawing board, laying out what weeks would look like, what months would look like, what would be my development in the off season, what would I be working on to make this team, and it was full steam ahead with 6 days a week, 12-hour days. Beth understanding that there's no real off season this year, and then we kind of carried that momentum from 1 week off after season straight into this camp where we haven't really taken many days off, if 2 days off in a row at all. And so we carry that in. We get to camp. And it was intense. It was stressful. It was 17 guys competing for 12 spots, but also trying to work towards getting a medal and building a team culture, a team chemistry, getting to know each other, and kind of working the momentum forward in a learning environment, but also where it's highly competitive. But it was my first time playing at this level, meeting a lot of these guys as, instead of a fan, like, level to level, eye to eye. We're both in this for the same reason, to get the same outcome, to accomplish the same goals. And so it's been fun getting to know Paddy, Joe, hanging out with some of those dudes, catching up with old friends, Josh Giddey and me at 36ers, Dante, Exum and me at the AIS. And then alongside the whole thing was Mags and me giggling, making eye contact when we didn't know what was going on in a new environment. Going out for little dinner dates. We've been trying all the best steak places in Hobart, not in Hobart, in Melbourne, sorry, and enjoying it. And then obviously the team got picked on Thursday after the second game in China, and then it was 3 days of full blown training before having 2 days off. Beth flying in, and here we are on a Tuesday night, ready to fly to Dubai tomorrow.
Doesn't stop. Dude, can I ask, is it like one of the things around the boomers culture and the Australian culture is just like they always talk about how intense the training sessions are. Is it what you kind of expected, or was it kind of just like you didn't really know what to expect, so you're just like, I'm just going to ride with it? But was it as intense as they say it is?
Well, it's different. Jack Jumpers trainings are hard.
True.
Long, very difficult, no days really off, intense all season long. So I would say no practices that I've ever been a part of have been as hard as jack jumpers. We arrive at 7 a.m. and we don't leave that building till 2, 3 o'clock. And then a lot of times are going to promos or going to, so everything kind of seems easy compared to the jack jumpers program. But when you're playing 5-on-5 and when you're in the heat of the battle, then the intensity is so high. The pace is so quick, the physicality of it, guys are wrestling, chirping, you got refs there that are getting yelled at. And so that level of intensity can't be replicated in an NBL environment, whether that's, particularly in training. But really it's like, what it felt like was the trainings out there felt like game 5 of the NBL finals. So that is kind of like what trainings are like, in terms of speed, pace, intensity, how guys are going at it. And that would be probably the closest to what it looks like, but it's just in a regular training session.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And before I go ahead, there was actually a fan that said, did Jack take enough time to celebrate the season, the shot, the championship? But you kind of already answered that. You had a bit of time, but it would be so hard, like in sport in general, to have those big moments, which you've had a lot. But then it's just like, you kind of can't just sit in there for weeks and just be like satisfied. And knowing you, I'm sure you never would be. But it is interesting to find that balance, because at the same time, if you don't soak it up and don't pat yourself on the back, then what's the point?
Well, it definitely is an interesting one, because I definitely don't do it for those moments. I don't do it for the congratulations, although I'm very grateful for the people that reach out, obviously. I don't do it for that. I don't do it even to, as crazy as this sounds, to win championships or to become an Olympian. I just love playing basketball. I love testing myself. I love working out. I love the process of the grind. And obviously, it's incredible making it. And we saw my reaction, me crying my eyes out and how much it means to me. But that's also just the accumulation of what I've put into this. And it does feel good when you're like, oh, wow, like what I was doing was working. The theories that I created and the tests that I've done on myself, for my training, my mind, actually work. And so like, I'm just excited again to go out there and compete and train hard and test myself against these next players and kind of continue that flowing forward. So a week off was a lot for me, and I loved getting back to the drawing board the Monday after the championship and trying to get better at basketball.
You're psycho. You're a psycho, but that's fine. It works out. It works in your favor. We will touch on that video, of course. But then came the games against China. But it was kind of weird. Like, I had to laugh at game 1. I was lucky enough to be there for both of them. But so you came off the bench, China game 1. But I just laughed because like you just come in and it's like you don't even like, to me, correct me if I'm wrong, you couldn't care less like what stadium you're in or how many people are watching you or what pressure there is. It's just like you said, I just play basketball, and it showed because you literally, I think you came out and straight away hit a 3 and you were just like, whatever, like it's not even a big deal kind of thing. But I just admire that sort of calm nature. I don't know if you've always been that way, but you just play basketball regardless.
Well, I'm very grateful for my failings on the basketball court, because I would say for about 6 years, from college to the start of 36ers, I've always been a good basketball player in terms of scoring the ball. I've always been able to score the ball, but it's never translated to games. Got too nervous, anxiety hit my stomach, I would have cramps, so I'd go out there and freak out. And so the reason I can go out and perform under those pressure situations, and enjoy those moments and look calm is because I practice for those moments every day. I wake up and spend an hour on my mind every single day. It's part of my job. It also translates to life. But me doing all those failing game after game, having a great training, having a great 2 weeks of training, the coach being like, we're going to give Jack another go, putting me out there and me messing up again, has prepared me for these moments. And that's why I feel like I can go out there and kind of be me. And I know the value of what I'm thinking about, where my mind goes when I feel stressed, what I put it on, the breath work that I do, all the thousands of tools that I've experimented with let me go out there and play free.
Love it. Love it. Now before we get on to actually making the team, I'm going to ask a random question that just came to me then, but I always find the insights of camps and players' personalities enjoyable. But was there something in camp, whether it's, I don't know, someone was funny than you expected, or someone was more athletic than you expected, or someone shot better than you expected, or whatever it was? It could be as quirky, as small as you want. But did any of the players surprise you in any shape, way, or form? Because I just like to understand these guys.
Ooh, did anyone surprise me?
Just any sort of way.
Nothing crazy jumps out of my mind.
Okay.
Paddy is super disciplined with his shooting routine, which I'm not surprised. Everywhere I've seen great shooters. But this is the stuff I pay attention to, right? Like, I'm locked in watching his shooting routine. Great just seeing Dante. Dante is hilarious. Dante is a great guy. He's had a baby, so talking about that and becoming a dad, and it's been great just catching up with him. But nothing has stood out too crazy as to what expected. Mostly what you've seen and what you've heard about these guys stands pretty true.
Good one. I like throwing these questions to you because sometimes you'll answer them unexpected ways, but that's good. So you're an Olympian now. I always like it's funny because it's only been a few days and it already feels normal, but I guess just finding out that video, I don't know how many times I've watched that video over.
Congratulations, Jules. Oh. You jack my Yeah. Okay, let's go. Oh. Dude, I won't let you down. Won't let you down. I promise you that. You made the right choice.
Relax. We're really proud of you. You earned every bit of this.
The first time I watched it, and you kind of explained the situation for what it was, and to your credit, you straight away were just like, I bawled my eyes out. I couldn't control myself, and you didn't mention that the great part where you were just like, I won't let you down. I really enjoyed that, and it was just super cool, but it is very... Congrats again for being an Olympian. It's just super cool, but again, you can't bathe in it because I know you've got bigger goals, but talk us through that whole just finding out, even though everyone's seen the video and everyone loved it, but from your perspective.
Yeah, well, a little backstory is I went to dinner the night before with Mags and we were just chatting like how would we react if we made it and all those good things. And I actually told Mags the night before that I'm going to stone cold face him. I'm just going to say, you guys made the right choice. When they tell me not show too much emotion, so I act like I'm cool, calm, I've been here before. Well, that definitely did not happen. And then with the video, we obviously got to see the cutest reaction of all time, which is Magnay, finding out a lifelong dream, something he's been working towards his entire life, which is becoming an Olympian. And the first thing he asks is, did Jack make it? So I was joking with Beth today saying, you've got some pressure because that might have been the cutest thing anyone's ever done for me.
He was happier to see that you made it than he was.
That's what I'm saying. So get you some friends like Magnay. They're hard to find, but that was pretty crazy. And hearing him say that and shows what type of character and type of person he is. But it was definitely a pretty cute video.
No, it really was. And you said that was really late at night, right? Like you kind of had to wait your turn to go up there and sort of talk to the coaches and stuff. And I know you got to bed pretty early. It must have been almost annoying for you. It would have been like, gotta hang this one out.
Yeah. So literally we finished that game at 9:00 and we kind of come back, eat dinner, and we're just all waiting around. They told us that we're going to have individual meetings with them and we're just waiting around. And that I didn't walk into that room until about 12:05, I think. So technically I found out on the Friday. I quickly text Beth and Lloyd being like, I'm going up, wish me luck. I'm nervous, guys. And she always texts back. They both, I think, text back saying, love you no matter what happens. And then we go up there and you can see some weight off the shoulders for sure.
You definitely gave us some insight into how nervous you were, but I won't go into those details because you definitely provided them. Anyway, I found the whole team discussion very interesting because everyone was predicting who would make it. Everyone was sort of saying yada yada yada, and I think the biggest one was Matisse Thybulle. People were like, "Oh, NBA player." Even if you're a casual fan and you don't really understand it that much, you're kind of like, "Wow, that's surprising." But I just found the whole conversation very interesting, and obviously you I don't know, you can't really, like, you're in it, so you probably can't say too much or whatnot. But I just found the discussion around like him, Xavier Cooks, Nick Kay, yourself, Mags. It was just a really cool conversation because I think Brian Gorgon even said it's probably the toughest Boomers team that he had to choose, or the best Boomers team and whatnot. But what was that atmosphere just like, being around, like, everyone's watching your every move, probably, just the pressure of making it?
Well, I've definitely never been part of anything in which there were 17 guys at camp, team gets picked at 12. I've never been part of something where anyone could have made it, where you could make arguments for anyone. Obviously, there was like a set locked, probably like 5 guys, maybe 5 or 6 guys that you knew were going to be in the team. But everyone else is fighting, scrapping, competing, and battling for these last spots while trying to build the culture of the team, while trying to get to know each other, while trying to put into systems of how to win games and what we're going to look like in Paris, and working towards that. And so I'm definitely grateful I'm part of the team, and there were a lot of good basketball players in Australia right now. There's a reason that we've got so many NBA players. There's a reason that right now the NBL is growing at a rapid rate. There's a reason that these young guys are coming up and they're talking, NBA drafts. There's a reason guys are coming into the NBL Next Star program. There's a reason when you look at the top 10 power rankings in the world for basketball countries, Australia is always in it. So it's a competitive, crazy environment. And I know it would have been tough for the coaches, but that's what makes sport so beautiful, is for every one of those videos where you see me crying in happiness, someone else is probably going through the opposite. For every game winner that I make, there's a team on the other side, or for every game winner I miss, there's a fan base going crazy. And that's the beauty and the stress and the struggle of sport. But it is what makes it such a beautiful thing, and why people enjoy it so much.
It's so true. And that's what it's like. It's the beauty of that you'll be on both sides as well. Like, regardless of if you like it or not, there's going to be times you're on both sides. But what now? What is it? Because I will admit, the whole Boomer schedule and like FIBA qualifiers and that in previous years, I'm always like, I don't really know what's going on. But I know you fly out tomorrow. There's also games against USA and Spain coming up. But what is the vibe? Tell me.
Yes. So we fly out tomorrow to Dubai. Then we training camp there. I think we're playing USA and Serbia. Yep. So this is what I was saying to Mags. I was like, you better be prepared to verse the Joker and then verse Joel Embiid in back-to-back nights. So that'll be a fun challenge. Yeah, good luck. I'll be there, making sure I'm talking loud and helping out. But we go there, we prepare, we continue to build culture. And then first game, I believe, is on the 27th of July. Yep. Against Spain, and opening ceremony is 26th of July. So we'll be floating through boats in the city of Paris and then getting ready to play the next day.
Simple as that. You'll be in the Olympic Village or whatever they call it. You'll be, I don't know, it'll be a whirlwind of an experience is what I'm trying to say. But anything else you want to touch on with the Olympic stuff, or let's talk about me for a bit, hey? Just a quick one to fit. No, not really. Just very simple. But anything else?
Nothing too much. More that might not have been able to reply to everyone that reached out. And so if you're listening to this and you reached out, I appreciate you a lot. A lot of messages. I felt the love. Super grateful. And let's go chase a medal. And let's say I'm not just an Olympian, but I'm a medal winning Olympian.
Love it. I was half kidding that we're talking about me, but I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to Summer League. So that's exciting, right?
It definitely is.
I'm keen to get over there. I've been there like 2016, so a fair while ago, but never been to Summer League. It's always been something I want to do. So I'm just excited to do it, even though it's bloody hot over there. Not a big fan of traveling, but as a great man once said to me, just get over it. Just enjoy the journey. And that was you, of course. But anyway, it's good. It's a good point.
So Vegas, how many days you're in Vegas, and then you get back and you fly into another holiday, and then weddings coming around soon. What is your exact goal? Not goal. What's your job? What are you actually doing in Vegas? Why are they flying you over there?
It's a good question, and I do not know. No, not really. I am basically taking. So every year we cover all the Aussies going over there, all the NBL related guys, whether that's like imports, whether that's actual guys that are on rosters last season, or teams always go over there and recruit as well. So every year we kind of cover it quite extensively. Like that, you'll notice there's a lot of content from the NBL side of things, but we typically always use a video guy that actually lives over there. But we're just trying it different this year, and I'm going to act as him, do all the video side of things. So me and Pete Hooley will go over there. He'll be in front of the camera. I'll be behind it. We'll be running around to both stadiums, just catching up with as many people as we can, and just trying to have some fun with the content. Like just trying to give you an insight into these people are trying to make their dreams, all the next stars playing their first sort of action. That's the main stuff. We're just trying to cover it over there, essentially from all NBL/Australia point of view.
Give us a real quick rundown into what is the Summer League for anyone listening that doesn't really know what the NBA Summer League is.
That's a good call. It's basically, I guess you could call it like a pre-season tournament, but with all the guys essentially you're essentially trying to make the proper NBA team, or you're already like a rookie contracted and this is your first chance to play with the team and build chemistry and all of that. But I just view it as like a preseason tournament that a lot of people pay a lot of attention to because it's your first look at these guys, and then you've got some great stories that come out of it, that whether it's Australians or other guys that you wouldn't normally think would get an NBA chance, they go out, ball out, get their shot and basically just make a roster. And it's a great way for people to see all people of different skills.
There's definitely a couple exciting Australians going over. Luke Travis, I'm excited to follow him for Cleveland. Sam Froling, I'm very excited to follow him. He's one of my favorite players. So watching him do what he do over there will be
Josh
really
Bannon
good.
as well. Yeah.
Josh Bannon is jumping in over there. So we've definitely got a big gang of Aussies heading over to go compete at that next level and try and grab an NBA contract.
It'll be fun. And then I'll get over the heat and stuff. So I just got to enjoy it because I don't know, I might never get the opportunity again. So it'll be good just to experience and do it that way. So hopefully we'll see guys like Alex Sarr and things of that nature, people of that nature just play really well, and it'll be cool to be there in person.
Now, one thing I want to touch on before we kind of wrap this thing up is I want to give a special shout out to Alex Tui, who was training with us in the Boomers camp and was really, really good, really solid. He felt like he belonged, great dude, and I'm really excited to see what he does in the NBL this year because he's improved a lot this offseason.
Love that little shout out. That's good. Yeah, because you had a few of the young boys like Rocco and him and a few other guys that I probably forgetting, like Ben Henschel.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot that they were were they there the whole time? Because I noticed they were like on the bench and stuff, like not in proper gear, but they were around the group the entire time.
Yep, they were around the group the whole time, just soaking up the experience, part of team meetings. They got the full ride, the full experience, training every day, and all three of them, Benny, Rocco, and Tui were there, and they all did a great job.
Love it. We got some fan questions. Needless to say, most were towards you. I got one in there, so I'm pretty excited by that.
Nice.
No, but I knew people would want to ask you some stuff. Some things we've already covered, like if you've had enough time to celebrate the Tassie season. But this is probably to both. Actually, I don't even know if it's to both of us. But did you tear up watching the Jack and Mags video, and how many times did you replay it?
This is definitely for you.
Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. Maybe you watch it and you might tear up yourself. It brought back memories. But I don't know. I definitely felt a certain way. I didn't tear up, but I will say it's probably like one of the most insightful and like emotional basketball videos you can probably get, especially being an Australian or whatever. So, yeah, you and Mags, just raw emotion. It was cool. So every time I see that thing pop up on my feed, I'm like, I'll watch it again. Why not?
There you go. I watched it once and that was enough. I don't want to watch me ugly cry too much. So
it was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was beautiful. You already touched on how it made you feel with Magnay reacting the way he did, but I still love that because he literally celebrated himself, and the first thing he said was, "Is Jack in?" And he was overjoyed. But Darren, what is it like having an Olympian as a friend? It's very cool. It is cool. I texted my dad. I was just like, because he loves that stuff. And after we had dinner, I'm just like, I just had a dinner with an Olympian. That was pretty cool or something. And then he was just like, who? ? And I'm like, do you really need to ask? He's like, are you taking the piss? Anyway, I don't know, Dad. You've got a good sense of humor. So anyway, it's cool. And you know how like proud I am of you, and it's really cool. So that's enough of that.
Wow, thanks. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I know, right? Mags can get the cute award there. But Jack, how are you feeling to go up against USA and players like LeBron?
I'm excited. I mean, I just want to test myself. Like, that's what I love doing in this game. That's what I want to do, not just on the court, off the court, in all parts of my life, but I'm really hoping I can get a post up and shoot a 1 foot fadeaway and get a bucket on him. And that's what I'm trying to do, trying to have some fun and learn how to compete at that level. And that's like my goal. That's what I want to do, and see how I can help the Boomers affect winning and win games and win.
That's simple as that. And it's just basketball. We've already established that it's just basketball to you. Doesn't matter who you're playing against or what stadium or whereabouts. It's just basketball. Top 3 free agency moves, NBL and WNBL. I quickly thought about this when I saw it pop up, so I'm cheating here. But obviously the Sydney Kings, they're going to have to be up there. Xavier Cooks, Cam Oliver. Super interesting to see what Cam Oliver will come back like. So to Phoenix as well. Enjoyed that. And WNBL, Nadia Poch got announced to Canberra Capitals, and they were already one of the most exciting young teams to watch last season. So that's my answers. I found that cool that Nadia Poch was going there. But I don't know if you have any NBL ones, but your mind is on the Olympics, so I'm just going to pass over that.
Yep. I've not been following it too much. Obviously, Sydney Kings have done some nice signings. But other than that, I've been locked in on this camp, watching FIBA international basketball and spending every single spare moment studying that.
I think that's fair enough. Last one. What strategies did Jack use to get through the last few weeks? And it says he mentioned journaling helped. What else though?
Well, the last 2 weeks I had absolutely no life at all. So it's not like it wears you down what I was doing, but my day pretty much looked like something like this. I'll give you a quick day of Boomers camp, which was wake up at 6:50, I think it was. I would breathe, I'd do breath work for about 15 minutes. I would meditate, do my mindfulness practice for about 15 minutes. I would write in my notes. So if you go on my Instagram post, you'll see kind of what I write. I just write future goals in present tense, and then just so much gratitude. Do that, eat breakfast, hit the gym real quick for some quick movement, 10, 15 minutes of movement. And then we'd go train for 2 hours. That would involve film, all on court, shooting, skill work, live scrimmage. Then I'd lift for an hour. And then that would kind of get me back at 1 o'clock where I'd eat. Then I would rewatch training. So then I'd spend 2 hours rewatching the entire training. And then I would either roll out my body for 2-3 hours. Within that, I would take intermittent breath work sessions, and rolling out sessions or mindfulness sessions. Then I'd do more journaling, which would be I've created my own little template on a thing called Notion where I'd fill out gratitude questions, what was my goal today? Did I achieve it? What can I improve? Then I'd talk to Beth, FaceTime her, eat dinner, watch film with a coach, get ready for bed by having a shower. And then I would do 10, 15 minutes of breath work into mindfulness, 30 minutes of visualization. So I'd get all the highlights from the training. And then I would kind of do that, do a little bit of reading, do some more journaling, kind of in the same thing, present tense, picturing myself the next day, dominating, getting buckets, and then go to sleep. And that was kind of 2 weeks of living like that. Now that's not sustainable, I don't think, for anyone. The second the camp finished, I'll shut it down and get rid of all of it for 48 hours. But then that's kind of what it'll look like going forward and being in this kind of camp mode. So that's kind of what a day of me trying to be the best basketball player I possibly can be in the camp looks like. It's pretty full. It's a 24-hour job.
That's a great insight. You can see straight away what the process is like for you. But do you know what is the most exciting part about that whole thing you just said? You probably won't guess it, but It's Notion. Have we had the conversation about how good Notion is?
We've never talked about Notion.
It literally runs my life right now, and it's great. I use the I don't know if you use the calendar, but the calendar's great just to map out exactly what your day looks like. I love it. Anyway, Notion would be a great sponsor. I would be perfectly fine with that. But it's seriously, anyone who hasn't spent time on Notion, it's a great time to to-do list, organize your life, documents, many options. I think you can build websites right now. That was a great plug as well. So I don't care about the boomers. Notion is exciting to me. Really exciting.
Well, there you go, Notion. We'll have to talk about this off podcast.
Not.
But I like how excited you got, because I'm the same. Have you got any more fan questions?
No, that was it. We finished on Notion. They just wanted to know the strategies, but that's very insightful. I know you're a very strategic man with everything you do. So, brilliant. Olympics episode done.
There you go. Thanks for listening, guys. Hopefully, we'll get another episode in while I'm in Paris. We'll make some time, make it work, and then next time after that, I'll have a medal around my neck.
That's so true. That's true. I was not going to hold you to doing an episode in Paris, but I'm not going to say that. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Take us away, Jack. Give us something.
Guys, thank you very much. Keep chasing those dreams. Keep watching Grown Man Sob on social media. Keep supporting. Keep chasing. Love you guys.